Hey heroes, welcome back. As this is sort of some news here. It's actually coming from another YouTube channel, Watt Up. He does a lot of he does all Wheel of Time content. He's actually sort of the one breaking it here, and this is actually kind of big news because this is a character we didn't see in the trailer, and something we have gone back and forth on. Are we even going to see this character in the show? And that is Lews Therin Telemon. um who is now reportedly cast. Swedish actor Alexander Collum is going to be playing Lews Therin, also known as the Dragon, not to be confused with the Dragon Reborn. So, why is it a big deal if you're sort of a new person coming into Wheel of Time here for the first time? This is definitely some spoilers. This is definitely spoiler territory.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I feel like we almost need to start like at the beginning of every video. These all could be potential spoilers because we're talking about characters that are in these books and Eye of the World stuff. So it starts off with a prologue. You have a prologue for this entire series. The kickoff is set like 3,000 years ago, and you see a man going mad, like crazed, right? And it reminds me of someone else at the beginning of the series who's also going mad and who's channeling the one power, Logain. So they're pushing Logain as this kind of, like almost like we said in one of our videos, like the Dark One or someone to, this is the Dark One's own work, right? Like male channelers going crazy. To set that up, you might see Logain first. I was originally thinking you would just see like a prologue. We'd have something like they do at the Lord of the Rings shows where they had Galadriel talking and you flash back and show the ring and, things that happen earlier on in the age. Now, in this, I don't think they're going to do it that way. I think we're going to see Logain, and I think Moiraine and someone else might tell us about the original dragon now and have us understand how he went mad and help us get a better understanding of what is actually happening with Logain. I think the people will say he's a false dragon. Some might even believe that he's the Dark One or the Dark One's pulling his strings, and Moiraine will add some context and clarity by bringing up Lews Therin. But yeah, it's kind of a cool thing. This is the guy who summoned the 9 rods of Dominion, which is pretty sick, right? I mean, he's this war hero.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about how we would even include him in the first place in season 1. Now this just says he's cast, and so we don't necessarily know if the article, even his video, I'm trying to remember if he specifically says or not that, like, oh, hey, this is announced that it's going to be in season 1, but they're filming season 2 right now. So do they just cast somebody in season 2? Regardless, you and I have talked about how do we think we're going to incorporate Lews Therin? And do we start with sort of like a Game of Thrones, how it starts with its prologue with the White Walkers and then immediately goes away from that, just sets the tone with that. In Lord of the Rings, you start off the first movie, Fellowship, doesn't start in the Shire. It starts with Galadriel explaining the history of the One Ring and why it's important. So do you think we start Wheel of Time with that, or do you think it's more of like a cold open where we open and it's out on the road with Tam and Rand out there, or is it getting pushed into the river scene, or what are we?
Yeah, I would love for it to be something with who knows if they're pushing Moiraine as this main character. I mean, maybe they do start with her traveling into the 2 rivers. But I would love to see Tam and Rand on the road and the whole, Fade following situation. It'd be awesome. I also, if we're talking about just Lews Therin, I think it would be great to have a prologue with him cast and in it. But if the news is maybe that he's more cast for season 2, then I'm leaning more towards the idea that Moiraine just mentions Lews Therin, that Lews Therin is talked about and his name is mentioned enough that, okay, now in season 2 we can cast a guy like this, where we didn't have maybe enough screen time to do that in season 1. So maybe that is the case. Maybe because this is not something, you feel like that rumor would have been leaked a lot sooner, and now you've announced season 2. Maybe Lews Therin is in season 2, but either way, I just want him incorporated in it, and I want Moiraine or someone in the tower to be talking about what happened to male channelers, and the audience at first believes that like they're bad. I mean, like it's the mark of the Dark One, if you will, and you really think they're associated with this, with evil, right? And we would never want to see one of our main characters fall or become a male channeler or whatever. That would be terrible. And then it's explained that over time they go mad, and maybe the Aes Sedai, modern day Aes Sedai, have been a little aggressive in their takedown of male channelers, and anyways. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what they do. I'm just happy to hear that he's been cast, or it's rumored that he's cast, and we're going to have mention of the original dragon. You got to understand the story. You have to go back 3,000 years to gather what happened, because the other characters who are stepping in, again, spoilers here, all the Forsaken.
Right. Tie into him.
Yeah, exactly. You have to have him.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's going to be cool. I mean, maybe we do start with Moraine, just like, Gladriel and Lord of the Rings talking about the One Ring. Maybe we start and it's Moraine doing the voiceover of the Wheel of Time, turns and ages come to pass.
Sick. Yes.
And we just see this sort of imagery, right? Like, and then maybe you have Lews Therin in there. So I don't know. But anyway, guys, leave us a comment. Let us know. How do you think we are going to incorporate Lews Therin? It's something we've been talking about since the show was announced. So how do you think we do it? What way do you think we go about doing that? So anyway, leave us a comment, hit subscribe, and remember that the grave is no bar to our call.